and you've had an engagement with the students. Directionally, where we should be going, parting words would be lovely to hear from you.
Well, first of all, let me place on record my appreciation for the way in which Atria University is conceived and executed. I think the Honorable Chief Minister will quite agree with me when I say, you've shown how even for a 16, 17-year-old, hands-on learning experiences are the ones which is really going to speed up skilling of young minds, skilling of young hands, and giving them the confidence that it is only by problem solving and understanding of issues that skilling can really mature into a purposeful, skill set in an individual, either when he is employed with somebody or when he starts his own enterprise. In India, of course, we've had IITs for a very long time, and also we've had institutes like the engineering institutions, all of which in their own time and in their own way have tried imparting, but the 21st century India needs a very different approach in handling technology and not to be diffident in being a part of that handling. So the way in which we approach learning, the teaching learning experience which happens, and the way in which young minds can appropriate for themselves that experience, which will give them the advantage of having experienced through hands-on work, that registers quickly and becomes the foundation for higher learning as well. Gives that spirit of entrepreneurship quickly into the young person, and also the confidence that he can execute something. So for 21st century, the way in which imparting of skills and also giving them the confidence should start early, not after feeling dejected about university entry, or not even having obtained a degree which doesn't give the necessary skill set, be it in science or in any other area, or all kinds of faculties. And also the national education policy now gives you the opening for a multidisciplinary learning. And it is only through that, like the way your students have shown art through technology and use of technology. So such kind of a across the board, across disciplines, when you start acquiring hands-on experience and also are able to communicate better about it. In most cases, I've found that very bright students from universities in India hesitate to communicate, and when they communicate, they come across as struggling to communicate. They might be bright minds. They might have great lab-based experiences, but communication, if it fails a bright mind, it doesn't help them being bright at all. So looking at multidisciplinary learning and also giving them the opportunity to be able to speak out for themselves as to what is it that they are doing are all essential parts of learning, and that's what I can see what you have looked at and conceived for yourself for the sake of Atria. And I think 21st century universities which are not just IIT-like, we need IIT-like universities, we need IITs, we need Indian Institute of Sciences, we need very high-end medical colleges, but we also need a very open-minded and a very sophisticated approach to learning the basics which a child of 16 and 17 should be given access and approach also. So I think you've succeeded in coming through with that formulation, and I hope in the future as well this gains much of a traction. And I think the traction will come when your students are going to go out there and seek some kind of a role for themselves, whether by their own enterprise or working for somebody else. It is then that the difference between a learning of this and a learning by the rote methods will differentiate for themselves, and students who are now able to have an hands-on and also communicate better and have the confidence that they know how it works will make them stand out as opposed to those who come by the rote method. So I'm very impressed, and I hope the national education policy can find its own course in your university, course meaning the flow of national education policy through the streams that you're creating for your students. And I'm sure with the state government, which is very, very active in promoting startups, giving opportunities for technology to play in real-time policy making, whether it started with the drones or anything else, you are, I think, in a good location, in the sense good state, which can give that academia and industry bridging, which is so necessary for 21st century India. The academia, which is you, industry, which is present here, and the government, which facilitates this, will make the state stand out. And I'm very happy for that. Wishing you, all the students, the faculty, and the promoters of this university, all the very best in your future.
Thank you.